Hello guys, welcome to Google Analytics Connector. Uh, Google Analytics is one of the services offered by Google. It mainly generates statistics related to a website traffic from different sources and locations, and it also tracks visitors from different search engines and social networks. So let's come to Google Analytics Connector now. Google Analytics Connector is makes enables a user to create source instances of type Google Analytics. So we can fetch data from Google Analytics server and we can load it to any kind of targets. So Google Analytics Connector mainly consists of two components. As you can see in the picture, one is client and server. So the source definition, everything is defined in the client. So we provide a dedicated wizard to provide a user, uh, I mean to for a user to create uh, set of source which is of type Google Analytics, and uh, and the actual connection will take place in the server to Google Analytics server, and at runtime uh, we we perform the data transfer operations. So these are the two components of Google Analytics connector. So now let's let's see how the data is stored in Google Analytics server. Here you can see Google Analytics stores this traffic data in the form of dimensions and metrics. Here in this page you can see there is different categories of traffic data, that is visitor, session, and traffic sources, and for each category there are different dimensions and metrics. So here you can see I have selected some of the dimensions, and you can see there are some of dimensional metrics which does not support that particular dimensions. So this gray color, you can tell that these are incompatible with this particular dimension. So this is indicated with the gray color on this page. So this is how the data is stored in Google Analytics server in the form of dimension metrics, which is categorized based on the website traffic details like visitor, session, and traffic sources, AdWords, and many more. So now let's see how our connector works. As soon as we install the connector to Informatica, we can there is a menu item called import from create Google Analytics source is created. This you can see in the designer. So when you click on this create Google Analytics source, here you can see a uh, bunch of details like dimensions and metrics. So the user can select a particular category here, and based upon the selection of category you can see different dimensions and metrics related to that particular category. So the user can select these dimensions and metrics by clicking on the arrow buttons on the here. So this can be by using the categories you can select these things, and here is the name field. You can specify the name for this source, and there is other two fields. One is email address and private key. These two bits are very important because you authenticate to the Google Analytics server using these two information. Like we have to provide our email address and a private key which is provided from the Google Analytics server when you register a project in Google Analytics. So what it does, why we are doing this one here is based upon the category, based upon the combination here, the Google Analytics will uh, check the compatible version, compatible types for that particular dimension and matrix. There may be some dimensions and metrics which may not be compatible with others, so that thing can be done here. So only we provide the email address and private key. So this will contact the server, and it will verify whether these combinations are right or wrong. That is why we are providing the categories, the dimensions and metrics of that particular category. So as soon as we select the create, here you can see the selected dimension metrics will be in the form of fields. Now you can check the data type of this particular column what we have, I mean the instance. Here Google Analytics supports int, number and string. These are the three common basic data types. So as soon as you, I mean, create the source, Google Analytics source, this will create the source instances. So next, here we have created some 6 targets based on visits by browsers, visits by operating system, visits by visitor type. And here you can see there are two fields mainly. One is browser and visits, I mean 2 rows. For one gives the information regarding the browser, and other gives a number of visits using that particular browser. And here is operating system, and what kind of operating system that the user use, and how many visits were uh, were visited to that site using that operating system. This is how the information you can take out from the Google Analytics server. So after creating the targets, we can see a mapping. You can see mapping which is mapped across the Informatica source qualifier, and to target it can be any database or something. So after creating the mapping, we have already created some sessions. So here are the sessions. So before creating the session, we have to specify connection. So the connection for this type is application. Here you can see. So here we can select Google Analytics application, and here also you can see there are some bunch of fields. One, the name of the our mapping, that is Google Analytics. And there are other two fields what we see, the email address and the private key, which is given by the Google Analytics when you register your project. So these are the two connection objects. And you can see we have created a session based on the mappings what we have created before for each one. So here if you look at the mapping here, so you can see the source as application, and the name of that our connector, that is Google Analytics. And here it also requires other three fields. One is the profile name what we have registered in the Google Analytics site, and there is one more of the other two fields. One is start date. I mean, if we want data from particular date to other date, that is we give here between these two dates we fetch the data from Google Analytics server. So those things are specified here. So after specifying this, uh, we uh, we can run the mapping here. So what we are doing is we are fetching the data from Google Analytics server, and we are presenting the data in a in Web Intelligent Rich client, that is BO Rich client. Here we are presenting the data. Now you can see here there is no data because we haven't fetched any data now. So everything is blank here. So we can also check out there is there is a kind of report we have generated using Google Analytics website here. One is a desktop and operating system. Based on these things, what we have selected in the Informatica designer, these things we can check here. So let's now run the mapping. As we have seen that there is no data generated because we haven't loaded any data now. So we'll run the mapping now. So now the mapping has started and it's running. So the first one is succeeded. It has written 5 rows, that is visits by country, and second one, the visits by browser, is in progress and it's still running. So the second one is succeeded and it has returned as 4 rows from Google Analytics server. So the third one is also succeeded, that is visit by operating system, that has returned 3 rows. The fourth one is succeeded, that is device category, that has returned 2 rows. And the fifth one is still running, it's in progress. And it succeeded. It has resulted in 2 rows, visitor type, and the next one is visits by year and month. So that is also succeeded, that is written with 39 rows. Now you can check this data on Vivo report, rich client, Webby rich client. I'm refreshing the data. Now it has generated data, that is actually we loaded the data from Google Analytics server to the database, and from database we have connected to this Webby rich client. Now we can see the data and you can verify this data with the Google Analytics report. Here you can see one of the visits by device category, it is 104 and 7, and visits by operating system it's 104, 6 and 7, and here also you can check in the report it's 104 and 7 and 104, 6 and 7, and visitor type is and visitor type is 76 and 35, that you can check here as 76 and 35. So the data is matching what we have generated and what we have fetched from the Google Analytics server and with the generated from the browser, Google Analytics website. So now the data is matching. So this is how we can fetch the data from Google Analytics server and we can put it in any kind of targets and generate reports. Thank you for listening. This, thank you for demo.